After watching this video, you'll become a genius or a real monster. There's a man sitting alone in a room, his own intelligence built. He won every argument. He saw through every lie. He became the sharpest person any of his old friends ever knew. And the price was this: there's no one left in that room with him. This is the trap Machiavelli warned about 500 years ago. And it's the exact trap most sharp minds walk into without ever seeing it coming. Over the next 23 minutes, one of two things is going to happen to you. You'll start thinking more clearly than 99% of the people around you. Or you'll quietly become someone the people who used to love you no longer recognize. Same way of thinking, two completely different endings. If you can feel that already, drop this in the comments. I control my mind. My mind does not control me. Most people think intelligence is about how much you know. Wrong. Intelligence is how you think. It's the structure underneath every decision. It's the operating system underneath every reaction. You've met that kind of person before. They stay calm when everyone else is losing it. They make decisions with a quiet confidence that makes you wonder, what does that person know that I don't? The answer is, they think differently at a structural level. The wiring underneath their decisions is built differently. And that's not a gift they were born with. It's a set of thinking patterns that can be learned, practiced, and built into who you are. In this video, you're going to get those 5 patterns. The real Machiavelli, not the watered-down version sold to you in self-help books. But I have to be straight with you. The same way of thinking that makes one man precise, calm, and genuinely powerful turns another man cold, calculating, and ultimately alone. I've watched it happen 3 times in the last 10 years. And the scary part is this: the people who go down the wrong path never see it coming. They think they're getting sharper. They don't realize they're getting smaller. This is the line I call the fox and lion line. On one side is the man who sees every trap and still keeps his heart. On the other side is the man who sees every trap and then becomes the biggest trap of all. Where are you standing on that line? 25 minutes from now, you'll know. Pattern 1, inversion thinking. Everyone talks about chasing success. Work harder, dream bigger, stay consistent. There's truth in all of it. But here's what gets missed. Most people fail not because they didn't try hard enough. They fail because they never identified what was going to kill them first. Inversion thinking flips the question. Instead of asking, how do I succeed? You ask, what causes failure here? And how do I eliminate it? Charlie Munger built his entire investing philosophy on this. He said, tell me where I'm going to die, so I never go there. Apply it to your own life. Instead of asking how to build a stronger relationship, ask what kills relationships. Dishonesty, contempt, taking someone for granted, and stop doing those things. Instead of asking how to build a career, ask what kills careers. Weak cash flow, bad hires, ignoring the customer, and you remove those threats before they hit you. This isn't pessimism, this is precision. You're not focusing on what could go wrong because you're scared. You're focusing on it because you're serious. Winners don't just chase outcomes, they eliminate what destroys them first. Pattern 2, Virtù and Fortuna, Machiavelli's real law. This is the pattern that 99% of self-improvement channels never teach correctly, because it's real Machiavelli, not the softened version. Machiavelli divided everything in life into 2 categories. Virtù, your strength, your skill, your will, your discipline, the things you bring. Fortuna, luck, circumstance, the current, the things you don't control. He wrote that Fortuna is like a raging river. When it rises, it sweeps everything away. No one can stand against the river once it's already flowing. But here's the part most people miss. On the calm days, when the river is quiet, the wise man builds dams. He digs channels. He raises walls. So when the flood comes, he isn't carried away. That's the pattern. On the ordinary days, the days when there's no crisis, you don't rest, you build. Cesare Borgia, the student Machiavelli admired most, did exactly this. While his father was pope, Cesare didn't enjoy the power. He built networks, he consolidated territory. He placed his men in every position. He knew that one day his father would die, and when that happened, Fortuna would turn. It turned, and Cesare had prepared for almost every scenario. Except one, he himself fell deathly ill at the exact moment his father died. That was the part of Fortuna no dam could hold back. Machiavelli's lesson is not control everything. The lesson is make the distinction. What is virtue? Invest in it. What is Fortuna? Build the system that survives it. Most people do the opposite. They worry about Fortuna, the market, their boss, the weather, what other people think, and they neglect Virtù, their skill, their body, their decisions, the way they react. Write this down. You don't control the river, you control the dam. Pattern 3, destroy your own beliefs. Here's a test. Think of something you believe strongly right now. Anything. About yourself, about how the world works, about a person. Now ask yourself, what is the strongest possible argument against that belief? Not the weakest one, not the easy version to knock down. The best, most uncomfortable, most logically airtight case for why you might be wrong. Can you do it? If you can't, that's a problem. Not because you're stupid, but because you're carrying a belief that has never been tested. And a belief that has never been tested isn't a conviction. It's just a habit you've dressed up. This is the rarest skill a person can develop, attacking your own ideas before anyone else does. It's uncomfortable. It makes you feel unstable at first, because things you thought were solid start to wobble. But on the other side of that discomfort is something more valuable than being right. It's actually knowing what's true. Weak minds defend opinions. Strong minds attack their own thinking. Machiavelli once wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." Most people's beliefs are built on appearance, on what sounds right, on what their circle agrees with, on what makes them feel good about themselves. Real thinking goes underneath that layer. It asks what is actually true, even when the answer is inconvenient. Pattern 4, the fox and the lion, Machiavelli's second law. Machiavelli wrote one line that every serious strategist has read. The lion cannot defend itself from traps. The fox cannot defend itself from wolves. So a man must be both a fox to recognize the traps and a lion to terrify the wolves. Most people get this pattern wrong. They think it's about choosing a side. It isn't. It's about holding both at the same time and knowing when to summon which one. Most men are walking around with only half. They're either pure lion, strong, loud, but they walk straight into every trap they meet. Or they're pure fox, clever, evasive, but no one in their life ever has to think twice before crossing them. A fox without the threat of a lion always has to run. A lion without the eyes of a fox always gets caught. Look at history. Lorenzo de' Medici, the man who ruled Florence, was the case study Machiavelli kept returning to. He poisoned enemies with banquets. He defeated rivals through marriages. He kept a strong army but rarely had to use it, because once your enemies know there's a lion in your house, they never test the trap. Ask yourself, in your life, who is the fox? Who is the lion? Who is both? And more importantly, who are you? A fox who forgets the lion becomes prey to wolves smarter than himself. Don't choose. Have both. Pattern 5. Identity over discipline. Discipline breaks under enough pressure, enough exhaustion, enough bad days in a row. Willpower runs out. You know that from your own life. Identity doesn't break the same way. There's a guy who forces himself to the gym every morning through pure discipline. He fights the alarm. He fights the resistance. Some days he wins, some days he loses. And there's another guy who's just an athlete. He doesn't fight resistance the same way, because not training would feel wrong to him at the deepest level. It would violate who he is. Same behavior. One is powered by willpower. One is powered by identity, and they are not equally reliable. The lessons stop forcing the behavior. Build the identity of the person who does the behavior naturally. Every time you sit down and read, when you don't feel like it, you're casting a vote for the identity of someone who reads. Every time you stay calm under pressure, you're building the identity of a man known for composure. The behavior comes first. The identity hardens behind it. Machiavelli wrote, "It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles." The title doesn't make you the person. You become the person, and the title follows. Identity first, achievement second. Drop this in the comments. I am who I build. Stop here for a second. If you only remember one thing from this video, remember this. The sharpest minds I've watched destroy themselves. Never thought they were destroying themselves. They thought they were waking up. That's the scariest part. And that's exactly why the 4 problems coming next matter more than the 5 patterns you just heard. Problem 1, the impatience that grows inside you. It starts quietly, almost invisibly. You begin to notice things in conversations you never noticed before. The logical gaps, the assumptions people make without realizing it, the way people reach conclusions without any real thinking behind them. At first you try to engage. You offer a different angle. You ask a better question, but it doesn't always land. People get defensive, or they look at you like you're speaking another language, or they agree in the moment and then think the exact same way 5 minutes later. And slowly, without ever making a conscious decision about it, you stop trying, you stop explaining, you stop bridging, you just move past people, not with anger, with dismissal. It feels like clarity, like efficiency, like you're not wasting energy. It isn't clarity. It's the first crack in your connection to the world around you. Real power demands patience, the ability to bring people with you, not just walk past them. A leader who walks too far ahead isn't leading. He's just walking alone. Problem 2, you forget what confusion felt like. When you actually do the work, when you build real thinking skills and start seeing results, you forget what it felt like before you had those tools. You forget the confusion, the frustration of not being able to see what now feels obvious. You forget how long it took. And once you forget, you start expecting other people to just get it. You feel something colder than impatience. When other people make the mistakes you used to make, when they fall for the same traps you learned to avoid. That coldness, that quiet contempt, is one of the most dangerous things that can happen to a sharp mind, because contempt shuts down empathy. And without empathy, you lose the ability to actually understand people. You can analyze them, you can observe their behavior, but you stop understanding them. A mind that can't understand people will create critical blind spots in every major decision it makes. You didn't get smarter. You got disconnected. Those are not the same thing. Problem 3, the isolation you don't notice. Nobody announces this one. It just happens. You start thinking differently, which means you start relating differently. The gap between how you see the world and how most of the people around you see it gets wider, slowly at first, then faster. Conversations that used to engage you start feeling shallow. Small talk starts feeling like static, and you pull back. Not dramatically, just quietly. You're in the room, but you're not really there. You tell yourself it's fine. You frame it as focus, as standards, as not wasting time. But there's a version of that story where it isn't discipline at all. It's loneliness that learned how to justify itself. And from the inside, those two look identical. Lincoln kept advisors who disagreed with him constantly, and he wanted them in the room. Da Vinci moved through every kind of social circle: artists, scientists, nobles, common workers. Churchill, in his most isolated moments, recognized that isolation as a weakness, not a feature. Thinking differently doesn't mean connecting less. It means connecting more deliberately. Isolation isn't a sign of growth. it's a warning sign. Problem 4. The feedback illusion. This is the most dangerous trap of all. It destroys people who thought they were past this kind of mistake. When you build a sharp mind and start making good calls, something shifts in how people treat you. They stop correcting you. They stop pushing back. They let you run with ideas, even when those ideas have real holes. And your brain reads that as confirmation. The silence feels like agreement. The absence of challenge feels like proof you're right. Here's what's actually happening. People stopped correcting you because you intimidate them, because they assume you know more than they do, because the last few times they pushed back, you had a response for everything, and eventually, they stopped trying. The silence isn't respect, it's avoidance. A mind with no resistance gets soft, no matter how sharp it started. The moment people stop challenging you, that is the moment you start declining. Not dramatically, quietly. And by the time you notice, the damage is already deep. This is where most people lose the lesson, because the 4 antidotes coming up don't sound powerful. They sound inconvenient, and that's exactly why they work. Antidote 1. Hunt for brutal feedback. People will not give you honest feedback by default. Not once you've established yourself as someone who knows what they're doing. They'll soften the truth until it doesn't land. So you can't wait for honest feedback to show up. You have to go hunting for it. Don't ask, "What do you think?" That gets you a polished, safe answer. Ask, "What's the biggest mistake I'm making right now? Where am I wrong in how I'm approaching this? What would you change if this were your decision?" And then the hard part. When someone answers, you don't defend, you don't explain, you don't immediately frame their feedback as a misunderstanding. You sit with it. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince who is not himself wise cannot be well advised." Not just advised, well advised. There's a massive gap between those two. Anyone can find people who will agree with them. The rare skill is building an environment where the truth actually reaches you and you're wise enough to use it. Antidote 2. Stay anchored in reality. A sharp mind that lives mostly inside its own head starts to trust its models more than the real world. The moment you treat your model as more reliable than the evidence in front of you, you've crossed from smart to arrogant. Reality is the only real test, not how logical something sounds, not how well you can defend it in an argument. What actually happens when you put the idea in contact with the real world? That's the test. There's no substitute for it. Stay in the game. Build something. Test something. Watch. Adjust. Don't spend so much time thinking about action that you stop taking it. Because theory without action is just a very sophisticated way to avoid feedback. The sharpest thinkers I've ever studied all had one thing in common. They loved being wrong in small ways, fast, so they could be right in big ways, later. Antidote 3. Build your personal code before power tests you. Power doesn't reveal character, it amplifies it. Power amplifies, it does not correct. Whoever you are before you have influence, power takes that and makes it bigger. The impatience, the coldness, the willingness to use people as instruments. A personal code is the set of rules you establish in a calm moment before the pressure arrives. What lines won't you cross, even if crossing them would win? What will you sacrifice rather than compromise? How do you treat people who can't do anything for you? How do you behave when no one is watching? If you don't decide these things deliberately, ahead of time you'll decide them reactively, under pressure, with your ego in the way. And those decisions are almost always worse. Without a code, intelligence becomes a weapon you can't control. With a code, it becomes something you can actually trust. A sharp mind without a code is just a faster road to ruin. Antidote 4, and this is the peak of this video. See clearly. Choose not to exploit. This is the line, right here. This is what separates every outcome we've talked about today. When you actually understand people, how they think, what drives their decisions, the fears and wants underneath what they say out loud, you gain something genuinely powerful. You can connect more deeply. You can lead more effectively. You can understand what someone needs, even when they can't articulate it themselves. Or you can use that same understanding to manipulate, to push the buttons you've learned how to find, to get what you want from someone while making them feel it was their own idea. Both are options. The understanding doesn't make the choice for you. Here's what the manipulation path actually looks like long-term. It works in the short run, and it destroys everything in the long run. Because manipulation requires maintaining a gap between what's real and what you've sold someone. That gap takes constant energy to manage, and people, over time, feel it, even when they can't name it. Trust erodes, relationships hollow out, and you end up alone, technically capable, with no one around you who knows who you really are. Manipulation works until the day someone you actually loved looks at you and realizes you've been managing them this entire time. In that moment, every skill you built becomes the evidence against you. That isn't power. That is a very intelligent kind of poverty. Real power doesn't need manipulation. Real power builds environments where people want to do what serves everyone. Power isn't in the manipulation. It's in the restraint. Drop this in the comments. My power is my restraint. Two men, same video, same ideas placed in front of them. One of them takes inversion thinking and uses it to build something real, removing the threats before they hit. He separates Virtù and Fortuna, investing in what he can control, raising walls against what he can't. He uses Socratic thinking to challenge himself, not other people. He carries both the fox and the lion inside one man. He builds his identity around who he's becoming. He hunts for feedback. He stays anchored in reality. He defines his code. He sees people clearly and chooses to lead them honestly. He becomes powerful. And he stays human while he does it. The other one takes the same ideas and uses them to justify the distance he was already putting between himself and the world. He gets sharper, more precise, colder. He stops explaining himself. He stops looking for feedback because he stopped believing he needs it. He sees through people and starts using what he sees. He wins some things. He loses people. And one day he's sitting in a room his own intelligence built, and there's no one in it. Same knowledge, two different choices, and the choice isn't made in one moment. It's made across 100 small moments stretched over months and years that add up to who you are. Machiavelli wrote his book for one prince. You're that prince now. 5 centuries later, the line between genius and monster hasn't moved an inch. It still runs through the exact same place, the inside of your own mind. Intelligence cannot save a man who has stopped being human. Cross that line carefully, or don't cross it at all. If this video made you think, hit like and share it with someone you think is ready. Not everyone is, but you know one person who is. Drop this final line in the comments. I grow, I stay human, because that's the whole game.